What's up, everybody, and welcome to Assemble. I'm Matt, your host, your only host. Today on the show, we're talking AEW. We're going to talk a little bit about Dynamite that we just had because I thought it was a big show. It was a big, important show that we got to be able to be a part of. We saw the likes of Hangman Page make a return, which is basically what I really want to talk about today on the show live. If you are joining us here, thank you very, very much for being here at youtube.com/assemble show. And I really want to talk about the newly announced TBS Women's Championship that was revealed on Dynamite last night too. I thought the show overall was really good. If you guys could do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. You can get all the updates on the content we do here over on Assemble because it's pretty much all wrestling nowadays. We're covering all things from WWE 2K22. We got some live streams happening, and we've got a little bit of AEW news as well whenever we want to cover it. So thank you guys again. If you are in the chat, thank you so much for being here live with us during the show. You guys can help support the community in a couple of different ways. One is just simply by subscribing. Two, you guys can become channel members as well to get priority in chats. We can give you shout outs. We can give you all of that good stuff every single time we are live here on the show. And additionally, if you want to, you can support the show even further by going over to the Assemble merch store. You guys can head over there. I will put the link into the description here. And you guys can check out all of the merch that we have for Assemble, from your premium tees, the beautiful zip-up hoodie that I have ordered myself to be able to get that nice little Attitude Era A on there. You got mugs, you got some retro mugs, you got sticker packs, you got everything you need, multiple colors. Like, I've got a tank top there. Whatever you guys are going to feel and fit your fancy, you can get it over there at the Assemble shop. I'm excited being able to launch that. Thanks for being here, everybody. And now, let's get into Dynamite. Dynamite was a really, really good show. I thought everything from, when I turned it on and I got to see the Super Elite doing their thing, the Super Click, I had a lot of fun being able to watch them 8-man tag. That thing was just fun, back and forth. I love Adam Cole and AEW. Man, it feels good. It's refreshing. Oh my God, I am so glad Adam Cole is out of WWE and specifically NXT because that was not going to go well for him. So I'm very, very happy Adam Cole is there. He's with his buddies. He's having a good time. They're having fun, exciting matches. I love this whole dynamic and feud that we have between the Super Click, the Elite, and dealing with Jungle Boy, Jurassic Express, Christian Cage. I love all of this. Adam Cole, baby, boom. I absolutely adore it. I think that they can do a ton of different stuff when it comes to Adam Cole. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think Adam Cole's first kind of big feud or character arc is going to be? Because to me, we'll get into Hangman in a little bit, but I feel like Adam Cole's trajectory is to become the new leader of the Elite and the Super Click, whatever the title they want to give themselves. But I really think that Adam Cole is going to become the new head of that faction. And I think Kenny needs some time off. I think he's been going hard. I think he's already been, articles and news out there were already reporting for months that Kenny was like dealing with injuries. So hopefully he will maybe drop the title just to be able to give himself to rest up for a while. Get him off TV. Kenny's been carrying everything for such a long time, like literally since day one of AEW coming together. And let's all give it up for AEW because this was their 2-year anniversary, everybody, of AEW actually being on the air and us getting an alternative mainstream product outside of WWE. So let's give it up for AEW because seriously, whether you are a massive fan of AEW, casual, you jump in here and there, you only like a couple of things or whatever, you gotta admit, it makes it fun to be able to have an alternative that you can turn on, and especially with the roster that we have today where you've got the Click, Super Click, you've got the Elite, you've got the Young Bucks, you got Kenny, John Moxley, you've got Bryan Danielson, you got the Adam Cole, boom, you got so much going on over there. Miro, Aleister Black, Malachi Black. Tons of awesome stuff. 2 years for AEW. Way to go, because that is such a short amount of time for them to do so much. And that's one of the topics on the show that I want to get into first. Before I do, let's head over to the chat and let's see what you guys are talking about here. Mobile Mars Gaming, I have a question. You do have a question? Ask a question. Put it in the chat, my friend. What if there is a match between Demon Finn versus The Fiend The match referee is Undertaker and Kane and is doing commentary. I think it's a fantastic, silly idea. I do love it. I'm always good for a big like theatrical match. That would just basically be, I imagine that we would have the table on fire around Kane and the Undertaker sitting there, dead man, tombstone pile driver all day long. Michelle, get the Lady Jim working, baby. And Kane would just be, I would have Kane with the voice box King going, I am Kane. He'd be doing that thing. And then Fiend goes over. And it's all red light district match. That's right. See what else you guys are talking about. Thank you so much for being here. Do me a favor, if you guys do want to enjoy the show, subscribe to the channel, check out the merch store, link in the description, so you guys can check out all the merch and rock that Assemble stuff and post it. Show me pictures, send it, all of that. Showstopper says, I'd like to see Omega versus Adam. Omega goes face, maybe, and is injured. Maybe. I do like that idea, Showstopper. Potsy says, I hope Kenny does the Shawn Michaels lost his smile promo. Ooh, that'd be cool, and I would like to see the Super Elite actually turn on him and the click turns on him. So love to see that. Little Justin Lowe says Adam Cole will be the next AEW World Champion. I am curious to see what they will do with Adam Cole, baby. But I'd love to do that. Mobile Mars Gaming, if you have questions, if you have ideas, I'd love to hear them. Throw your ideas in the chat. Stay positive and stay healthy. Do your thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk a little bit more about AEW and what we had on the show. I think that let's talk about that point of Adam Cole, baby, boom. Let's talk Adam Cole and what could mean with the title scene going down the road. I think that there's a really good opportunity for Adam Cole, as he's come right in, to go through this feud right now. Christian Cage, he's with the Young Bucks, going against Jurassic Express as well. I love this whole dynamic they're doing. What I think they are probably going to build to, what I'd like to see them build to, is Adam Cole versus Christian Cage, as Adam Cole's kind of like, this is his first program coming in, but his first big one-on-one match, I think he needs to go up against Christian. I think Adam Cole would go over. Christian has no issues eating the loss, eating the pins, and it won't really hurt him all that much. So I'd like to see if Adam Cole can get into a feud with Christian directly, just to be able to get that done. We need Jurassic Express and Christian to get some really good wins, though. They're super popular. They're super over. I know that Jungle Boy is one of them that they really want to be able to execute as like a big player. You could see it, you could feel it. But I gotta tell you, like Jurassic Express last night, together, the moves they were pulling off, holy cow. I thought they did an amazing job. Luchasaurus especially impressed me last night. Being a big man, hitting those dives, the flips, the moonsaults, the kicks. This guy is incredible to watch. I love when they just let them loose a little bit. But Jurassic Express is... I'm sad that they didn't get to win the tag titles, but hopefully down the road it does mean that they can keep building them up, because I'd like to see even more from them. But I would like to see, when we talk about Adam Cole, I would like to see him go up against Christian. He's in this whole thing right now with them. Get Adam Cole the big win, the big push. I think what I love about AEW right now, everybody, is that I love that they do a lot of the long-term booking. They kind of stick with the ideas and they play them out, very much like we see with Hangman Page. I really want them to do a long game here with the Elite, the Super Elite, and the Deception, and they could easily tell the story of Kenny losing the title. That means the Elite has lost all the titles. They have nothing there. They feel defeated. I do need Kenny to get off TV for a while, for him to rest up and come back even bigger and better. Maybe, like you guys are saying in the comments in the chat, maybe have him come in as a face down the road. But what I love them to do story-wise is to play with that as Kenny has lost the title. Either take him off TV. Maybe they take him off TV directly, like right after or shortly after. Run him off TV for a bit. Adam Cole becomes just the interim leader of the Elite. And if you have them run things like Cole and the Young Bucks and them running it all for 6 months to a year, you can then have Kenny come back, because everyone would be so used to Adam Cole being the leader of the Elite. You get Kenny Omega to come back in after the fact. He can come in as a face, take out Adam Cole, and Cole and Young Bucks at that point, they've got the titles, like all the gold again. And Kenny can come in and basically challenge Cole to be like, you're not the leader of the Elite, like I am. This is mine. I never said that you were going to lead this thing. There's so much you could do there, or you could just drop little snippets and threads of this. You could have the Super Elite, the Super Click, turn on Kenny Omega for losing the title. there's a lot of stuff you could do with this. It gets me excited. I'm happy to see what they be doing with that. Let's take a look for a second here. Let's talk in the chat. Mobile Mars Gaming. What if 2K, you could choose any commentator? It would be Kane also. And you could choose their gimmick. Potsy says, I don't see Adam as the next world champion. Maybe the TNT champion. Very good point. You could see Adam Cole kind of being built up a little bit higher. I like that idea. Cold Evans, good to have you. Thanks for surprise. I saw you in the comments of either the videos or the posts that we had this morning. So thanks for tuning in. CM Punk turning heel and dropped his best promos. Yeah, I think we're going to be on this whole face Punk move for probably the next 6 months. I want a good year of Punk doing this, working with the younger talent like he is, getting guys over, having fun. Punk having fun, it's fun. And we need to see a lot more from him. So I think it's going to be a while before a Punk heel turn, before it makes sense. And we got a lot of heels to be able to work with. Mr. Mitch George, hi buddy. Good to see you, guys. Shout out to Mr. Mitch George over at the YYZ, representing Toronto with his podcast, his gaming podcast. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for supporting the show. Showstopper says Jungle Boy is the next top, but he needs to get a little bigger in the muscle. I think for Showstopper, for me, I think Jungle Boy he could be bigger, but I think he needs more mic time. He needs more personality built up for people to understand his character more. He needs more character depth. That's just me. AEW, Potsy says AEW should introduce the trios titles next. That's what I thought they were going to do. So let's talk about the titles. Let's talk about AEW's titles and the updates that they have done, because we got the announcement of the TBS Women's Championship. 1 second, guys, because let's pull up said title. Let's see here. That ain't it. Because I thought it was really cool that they did reveal a brand new title. I kind of thought it was going to be the Trios title, to be honest. I did think that they were going to go down that path. But the women's title, I do want to talk about. Let me just grab something here real quick. Let's go over to this. Let's go over to this. Yeah, the Trios title was one that I was kind of hoping that they would announce, because they have so many great Trios teams. Death Triangle is up there for me. But I'd love them to do something. Now, camera full. And let's grab this little Trios title right here. Booyah. So let's talk about the Trios title. Or excuse me, let's talk about the TBS title for a second here, everybody. Thought it was great. I thought that Tony Khan teased this online, that there was going to be more announcements to come for this 2-year anniversary show. Again, it's another topic that I will get into with everybody too, but this is one of the things I love about AEW's approach to their shows. The weekly shows every couple of weeks, because they space out the pay-per-views so much every quarter, what I absolutely love is that we get AEW doing these bigger shows, doing an anniversary show, and doing something on those shows, announcing stuff, even when they announce matches that are going to happen on like Rampage, like CM Punk is going to have a match on Rampage this Friday. You got tons of eyeballs. It makes it much more of must-see every single week for that product, because I think that on the pay-per-view side, AEW is in a spot where, because they do only the quarterly pay-per-views, which I like, and not inundated with the content, I think having the two main shows, you have Elevation and Dark, but the two main primetime shows out there every week, quarterly pay-per-views, it works, and it allows them to draw their audience to the TV product versus always having to push them for the pay-per-views. Because I think that in large part, the pay-per-views matter, they do, but you have a baked-in core audience that's gonna buy the pay-per-views. And I think for giant shows, they'll get some bigger numbers, like when Punk and somebody else shows up. But I think that the quarterly pay-per-views are good, and you got a baked-in audience there, and that will sustain itself. I like that they do the TV strategy of, we're gonna have big matches on Rampage, we're gonna have specialty Dynamite episodes that are focused around something. Like, we got a casino ladder match on Dynamite. How many times are we gonna see that? When do we see a ladder match on Raw or SmackDown, right? We don't get that anymore from WWE, and I think it's because we get so many pay-per-views, we get so much content from them, that it's hard to make the TV product feel special. And the TV product on their side is traditionally, in my opinion, is traditionally booked to get to the pay-per-views. We do get that with AEW. They still book but they give themselves more time, more breathing room. So you can have really cool big matches on TV, which is good for AEW because it will do good with TBS and TNT and all those guys so that they can actually get more ratings, bigger ratings, more money, and they can grow and grow and grow. And we get cool stuff where they announce like a TBS championship. Guys, let me know in the comments right now. I have the TBS championship right here on screen. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. What did you think of the design of the TBS title? This is a new, presumably the mid-card. It's the equivalent of the TNT title. But this is going to be the TBS Women's Championship. Thumbs up or thumbs down for the overall design of the Women's Championship here. While you guys do that, let me check into the comments here. Mr. Mitch George says Jungle Boy and Christian as a manager makes a lot of sense, and chase the TNT title once Sammy drops it. That'd be really cool. I'd like to see Jungle Boy Mitch go for the TNT title. I think they really need to establish, like, they have it as the mid card, but I need to see guys like Jungle Boy get in there. They had Darby in there. He moved on from it. I love to see that. Christian behind him. You're right. Good push. Use Christian as the mic. If Jungle Boy can't get those skills up, I think it's a good idea. AEW will be the same as WCW. Just joke. We will see. Lil Justin Lowe says Kevin Owens needs to go to AEW very soon. The contract, I believe, Lowe, is that it's going to be up in January. And man, when we saw, if you watched the draft and you saw how he was used, and I got so worried that Kevin Steen is flirting with the 24/7 division, that got me really, really anxious because I'm like, I don't want to see this. He gave Akira Tozawa a stunner and walked away. I think that's Owens for the rest of the year, and then we see him on Mount Rushmore of Wrestling in AEW. Showstopper nailed it. I like TBS title design more than a women's belt, and Potsy says, in my opinion, WWE needs to get rid of the gimmick pay-per-views. It's funny, though, with Potsy, like with the gimmick pay-per-views for WWE, because they have these gimmick pay-per-views, Hell in the Cell, Money in the Bank, Extreme Rules, but Extreme Rules was not extreme. Hell in the Cell, it loses its specialty, in my opinion, of and like spectacle, because they have 2, 3, 4 Hell in the Cell matches, and I'm like, meh. I like the days of WWE when you'd build a program to have a Hell in the Cell match versus, oh yeah, we have it in this month, so all the matches are Hell in the Cell. I miss the days when it was like Triple H versus Rock or Triple H versus Austin, and you'd build to an actual Hell in the Cell versus it just being shoehorned in there. So let's see what you guys think. Showstopper, thumbs up. Mobile Gaming doesn't like the title. Justin likes the title. Are you excited for the DC fandom? Cold Evans, I am excited for DC fandom. I want to see some of the trailers. I assume we're going to get a Batman trailer for the new The Batman. That has me really, really pumped. And I'd like to see if there's any game announcements. Gotham Knights is a big game that I'm looking forward to. I want to see more of that because that got pushed out. So I want to see if they can do any more with it. Mr. Mitch George, oh man, I cannot wait for the game, the new fandom. Yes, Showstopper. SummerSlam back then was really biggest night of the summer. Let's talk more about the TBS Championship. Love that Tony Khan and AEW is doing this, that they are bringing out the TBS title for the women's division, mid-card title. Finally, a company is doing this. I have wanted a mid-card women's championship of any kind from WWE, AEW, mostly WWE, forever. Wouldn't it be cool though now, guys, if WWE watches this and they're like, "Oh god damn it, Bruce, we need a women's mid-card title. Damn it, Bruce." Okay, Vance, we'll go and put a lady strap on it. It'll be fine. You want a butterfly on it or what? Oh yeah, no. It's gotta look like all the titles. Just make it pink or something. Some shit, yeah. I'd like to see if Vince will actually come out with a women's mid-card title. It would still make me happy because we would have one, because the women's tag titles on WWE are nothing. There's no women's tag division anymore since the draft. I like the women's title. The TNT title got the redesign, which I'm glad they did. The TBS title for women, thank goodness. Give them more. They have such a huge women's division and women's roster in AEW. Give them more to work with. Give them something to actually grab onto, because you've got Britt Baker at the very top, and that's going to be taken up a long time with her and a couple others at the very top of the mountain. So I'm glad that we can get another title because that title can allow more women to chase after it, put it over on Rampage, being able to feed more women, create a tournament out of it. That's what's going to be really cool, and you get more exposure for them. Oh, showstopper, you like the Vince? Vince can't talk. He's too old, but he just knows he wants more attractions. And then Bruce is just like, wait, it's gotta be an attraction, Vince. We could get a women's title, but it's gotta be an attraction, you know. Very happy about the TBS championship, personally. I think it's well done. I think the blue looks really good. Mitch, I think you nailed it. I think you could get Ruby Soho to be the inaugural champion. Put a face on it. You've got Britt Baker that is a face. She's kind of a tweener. I feel like it depends on the city she's in, and that's fine. But she's super over, and she can have the big women's championship matches. I do kind of wish that AEW would actually redesign the women's title. I find it a little bit too small. I like the WWE on their side with the women's titles. They're all fairly large. They look like big championships. I like the design of the women's championship on AEW, but I wish that it was actually like physically bigger because it does look tiny. It looks very, very small. So I like them to beef that up if they could, because the TBS title actually looks, when they pulled it out, it reminded me of the late 90s WWE title. I like the round, and it was almost like the mix of the Winged Eagle belt. I call it the Triple H belt in the 90s and 2000s. That was my favorite title. All right, guys, let's talk in a second. Let's talk about your main event, the big main event, which was going to be this match, this casino ladder match, Casino Royale. They put a big poker chip hanging at the top of the ladder, and you have a pay-per-view quality match on Dynamite. Did that work for you? And what do you feel about the structure of AEW TV with Rampage, with Dynamite, and that Tony Khan and everyone at AEW has a tendency to put on these sometimes like pay-per-view, I mean, the wrestling is fantastic, but pay-per-view level matches, like we get a ladder match, like this is pay-per-view, but I know they got 4 weeks away to the next one. But what do you think about stuff like that? Because it's different. It's not the same as what we get with WWE all the time. And I appreciate that because I can't get this stuff. I think it's a good alternative. Yeah, Potsy, that was the Stone Cold belt. The Stone Cold, The Rock, the Attitude Era belt, kind of, right after Winged Eagle. That was my favorite. Buzz says, what happens if the next AEW title is the AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions, so it's the same as the men's division? Potsy, I really hope so. I really hope that the women do expand and they can get the tag titles, but I think to start, we need them to build up the women's division, which they are doing right now. You can kind of see it. They're giving them more TV time, more matches, more prominent spots. Adding Rampage to the bill allows for that, more exposure of more stars, and I think it's a great idea that they can add more women to the show outside of just the core main event scene, because it'll start to get really cluttered. And I want to understand and know who the women's stars are outside of like Britt Baker, Ruby Soho, and a few others. I need to know why they matter, and I want them all to have a shot. Opening up a tag division for it, I worry that it gets kind of lost and it ends up being on like Dark. Sunny Wong, good to see you. The TBS Championship looks absolutely beautiful. I love it, given an opportunity for other women to hold the title. Hangman's got the biggest pop that man received. Omega versus Page, Full Gear pay-per-view. Yeah, so guys, we had the Casino Ladder match, and the Joker coming out of that ended up being the man himself, Hangman Adam Page. Cowboy shit. Can I get a cowboy shit in the chat? I'll let you sit on that for a second. Cowboy shit. Give me cowboy shit. Because that was awesome. It was absolutely awesome to have Hangman Page come back. Kind of telegraph, but at the same time, that's okay. Because look at like some of the reveals they have done when it comes to Bryan and Punk. They're telegraphed. People know they're there, they're coming, but they haven't showstopper cowboy blip. They know that they're coming, that they're going to be on the show, but they do a great job of having it. Thank you, Potsy. Potsy, you nailed it. Copy Potsy's cowboy poop emojis. I love that. I love how AEW does these things where it's like you can see where they're going with the story and you're going along with it, and they can give you some twists and turns along the way. Hangman Page coming back, winning the match. You guys said it in the chat though. The pop that he got coming out, oh man, you felt that rush, you felt that excitement from the crowd. Like that was really impressive. Really, really impressive for Hangman to have been gone for such a amount of time. Totally taken out of the mindset of the fans because of really being the fans looking at guys like Malachi Black, Bryan, Cole, Punk coming in and being these massive, massive established stars. It's great to see Page come in here and have a platform, get into this match, win the match. But yeah, the pop at the beginning, him winning the match, chugging a beer like Stone Cold Steve Austin at the end. We're going to get this Adam Cole. We're not Adam Cole. We're going to get Hangman Adam Page versus Kenny Omega at Full Gear. And I think maybe it's telegraphed and maybe it's very, very straightforward that we do get him winning the title after by cashing in, announcing, maybe he announces next week or on Rampage, he announces that he is going to cash in on Kenny Omega. But I am totally good with it. I think that it's a story that they need to tell. It's a story they've been wanting to tell. And I'm excited to see what Hangman can do with the belt. This is a great story to tell that's coming up to the 2 years of Dynamite, obviously, being on the air. Hangman having the first chance at the world title originally, taking on Chris Jericho. A lot of fans, I remember at that time, I was flipping between, I'm like, is it going to be Jericho? Would they really put it on Jericho? Wouldn't you want to kick off AEW with a brand new, fresh talent? And they went with Jericho. And I think, arguably, it worked out really, really well putting it on Jericho at the beginning. And then we got Mox and we got all these other stars and we got everyone into the mix with the title. And we end up with Kenny. And I like the way they have done this with the title. And it's okay that they can maybe flip the titles back and forth a little bit too. They're not afraid to do that. But I think it's time for Hangman to get his hands on the title. I always worry, my only fear, and maybe it's just more of WWE, because I haven't really seen this with AEW yet. My fear is always when a face wins the title and then what? The next thing that happened that was very exciting was actually going to be Bobby Fish. Bobby Fish coming in, leaving NXT, thank goodness he's gone, and showing up in All Elite. And I see Bobby Fish as much more of a player coach type down the road. I don't see him going up into main event, but I do think that it's a great spot for Fish to come in. John Elite, I do think, it's stuck in the chat for a second, guys. I do think that Hangman is going to get the title. I think that they will probably go clean with Hangman winning that thing. I don't see any reason why not. It's time. I mean, if you delay Hangman winning the title, for what? And I think Kenny needs a break. I think he's held the title. He's done everything he can with it. The Elite's strong. The group's strong. If you come out of Full Gear and Kenny is still the champion, what's supposed to happen? Are you just going to turn around and have Bryan Danielson challenge? That's great, but you want the builds. And I don't think Kenny Omega needs to turn around anymore and say, like, oh, I'm the best ever. I think you can take the title off him, let him go rest for 6 to 8 months or a year, come back. Meanwhile, you've got the Elite in there. You've got Punk, you've got Bryan, you've got Cole, you've got all these guys you can work with and take some spotlight to and build up some more stars and go that direction and have Hangman run with the title for a good amount of time and have him mess with the Dark Order a little bit, have him mess with the Elite. You can do a lot. So I think if Kenny goes off, you've also got the story of the Super Click and Adam Cole, baby, boom. Looking at the chat right now, Showstopper Bobby Fish would be cool. What place will he be when he's there, basically? And Johnny says Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong at AW soon. I don't know. I want to see what they're going to do. Kyle O'Reilly, I can see being done. I don't know. I do not see Kyle O'Reilly lasting in this NXT 2.0 shenanigans. I watched NXT 2.0 the other night. That was fun. And the views, I think it dropped in the previous week. I think they dropped down to, was it 20,000 viewers? Not a lot, but I want to see how their viewership lands. Kyle O'Reilly, I think is I don't know. I don't see him on main roster. Maybe he will be a big centerpiece of 2.0. He's young enough, but does he really want to be in there doing all that stuff with these young talents? I don't know. And when it comes to Roddy, I think Roderick Strong is finding a really good spot with Diamond Mind. I'm glad Bobby Fish. I mean, it's too bad. I don't want to see anybody lose their jobs. I think Bobby Fish exiting NXT is fine because he's got a home in AEW, and I think Fish finds a good home in that mid-card division, and maybe he could find himself into a tag team. That'd be cool. Or if they actually get Kyle O'Reilly out of there, reunite them and bring him in, and you get a really, really strong tag team in AEW, and that would be really cool to see. Showstopper says Punk versus Bryan is the next big match. I think so, but I think you need one of them to be heel. I mean, you could do that face versus face. Everyone's going to be very happy with it. It's the WrestleMania match. It is their big Mania match. If they are going to do Punk and Bryan down the road, I 100% agree. I think that's going to be their big like blow off. They need something. That would be a year of building that match up. Showstopper says, poor Triple H to think he went into the hospital for his heart. Yeah, he did. I hope he's doing okay. Shawn Michaels is reportedly running the day-to-day operations over there at NXT 2.0, but we'll see. Team of Vlogs and Love. Can I talk about Naomi, please? Well, of course. I'm a big fan of Naomi. I really want to see what they do when it comes to the Queen's Cup or the Queen of the Ring tournament. What I'd like to see when it comes to Naomi and her story arc right now on SmackDown, staying drafted on SmackDown, which is good. She is going to have the feuds with the GMs. I think that's good. I'd like to see her in Bloodline and turn heel. I think a good story arc for Naomi, maybe they'll pull this off, maybe they won't, is having Naomi maybe win the Queen's Cup, the Queen of the Ring tournament, as she's gone on to say, like, you won't challenge me, and they keep blocking her and not letting her get challenged by anybody in the division. Hopefully that Naomi gets built up a lot more, because I want to see a lot more done with her. She's former women's champion. She's fantastic in the ring, but I'd like to see her character get developed more, and maybe this feud currently is going to do that, and maybe it will expand her a little bit more. But winning the tournament would be really, really cool. Future title shot, maybe. And then she can go up against Becky Lynch. She stays face. The other thing is, though, is I kind of like to I like to see her heel and have a segment backstage where she can be like, hey, don't mess with me because you know who my family is. And in steps Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. I'd like to see them turn her heel and show up, be all in black, decked out, do like a black and white glow thing. It's almost like NWO. Yeah, Naomi's awesome. Ivy says, I think the top two matches of the pay-per-view will be Hangman versus Kenny at that moment, plus the Bucks versus Brian Cole. I agree. The demotion. John Elite, between Kenny and Roman, who held their respective title longer? Roman? Ooh, good question. Roman was over a year ago now at SummerSlam, right? Where he showed up and beat The Fiend. And he was in that match with Braun, I believe. Roman's been over a year. When did Kenny win it? I think Roman's been longer, but I could be wrong. You guys will figure it out. Yeah, Showstopper, I can't remember when Roman won the thing. I remember when he showed up and he had his new shirt and he did a spear on The Fiend, I want to say. Beat him. But I can't remember what pay-per-view that was. Have there been any announcements as of late of the participants for the respective tournaments on Friday? That I have not seen. Actually, let's go over to AEW's site here. Because we got the announcements for Adam Cole, Baby Boom. We got the announcements for what's coming up on Rampage. Oh! Rampage results for Brian. Okay, where is it? Latest news. You know what? Where was it? It was all in the spoilers at the bottom. So Friday's Rampage features CM Punk versus Daniel Garcia, which is going to be fun. Again, they're doing a good job. They're keeping AEW strong, and they're keeping Rampage strong is what I mean. Because they need Rampage 1 hour program. It's in a tough slot. Being at 10 p.m., 9 Central, that's a hard spot to be in for any TV show. And you're going up against SmackDown that just ends, and you hope that you get some spillover of people. But 10 p.m. is a late night for average people. And to tune into a 1 hour wrestling program, I hope that they can keep building Rampage up higher. Having Punk on the show on Rampage, I think is great. He's facing Daniel Garcia. We have the AEW World Tag Champions, the Lucha Brothers, are going versus the Acclaimed. And Absolute Ricky Starks is going up against Brian Cage in a Philly street fight, which I hope this is their blow-off match, because hasn't this Ricky Starks, Brian Cage feud been going on forever? So I really hope that this is going to be a finale and maybe get Brian Cage over a little bit more. And then you got Jade Cargill versus Sky Blue. Hopefully we get Sky Blue winning that thing. And maybe another announcement, another tease. Is this the late night show, 10 p.m.? Yeah, it is. Yeah, showstopper when you guys like me and you guys like Matt. You got the little kids, you got the shenanigans going on during the day. 10 p.m. is late. When you're like, I don't want to watch another hour of TV, but I'll try. And then I'm half asleep. Well, guys, that's going to pretty much wrap it up for today on the show. Just want to come in and talk a little bit of Dynamite with all of you. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys can, do Matt a favor and head over to the whole merch store we have here. Link in the description. I will put it back in there again. Get you guys to at least go shopping, at the very least. Peruse the internet. Get yourself a mug. Get yourself a little Assemble shirt. Get yourself one with the little Attitude Era A on it. Very clean cut. Wear that hoodie. You zip it up. You put it over your head. You got the rainy days. Don't worry about it, because the hood's gonna help protect your hair. You feel all nice. You get that coffee mug with a little bit of Runnin' Wild in there, brother. A little bit of 80s. Multiple colors. Lots of good stuff. Even just a sticker. Something really fun for yourself. Do that. Do whatever you got to do. Head over there. Support the show by going over to youtube.com/assembleshow, because we have new content happening all the time. And one of the final things to say, guys, is that as some of you have seen, I did the video where I posted about the new series that we have for 2K19 coming out. I'm producing it right now, a little bit at a time. And I have everything kind of in place and figured out. It's going to be a lot of fun, but we're going to call it Be the Booker. And as you can see, there's a ton of voting in there. If you haven't done any of the voting, get in there. I'll leave it open for the rest of the afternoon, but get in here and vote on some of the stipulations and things that are going to happen in this Big E versus Undertaker match for 2K19. It is a fan voting series. It is a choose your own adventure where I am taking the votes from you, the community. You guys decide on all of these outcomes, some of the highlights in the matches that we will have. And the first one, again, is kicking off with Big E versus The Undertaker. You have all decided that it's actually going to be in Hell in a Cell. We voted for, what did we have? We had a No Holds Barred, Hell in a Cell, and TLC. And you guys voted for Hell in a Cell match. And then the next votes that are options is for Be the Booker. Who gets tossed off the Hell in a Cell? Right now, 72% of you say that Big E should get tossed off the cell. Okay. And for who falls through the cell itself, right now, 76% of you say Big E is going through the cell as well. So Big E's going to have a rough match. And who gets busted open, basically who gets busted open first. You're also saying Big E is getting busted open first. And then I posted a new one this morning. Who wins the Hell in the Cell match? You guys right now, it's close. It's at 51 votes. And Undertaker, you're saying, is going to win the Hell in a Cell. But 45% of you say that Big E is going to win this thing. So do yourself a favor, get in there, because as we do this series, I'm going to post the whole thing together. It's going to be edited and all that stuff. But we're going to put this all together. I'm in the community tab on the channel, everybody. Head over there right now. You can go in and vote, because your vote matters, and your vote counts towards how this actually plays out whenever we do this match. So when we have a next match, We'll see what's going to happen, who the participants will be. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to do this. Again, it's inspired by like a choose your own adventure theme, and I wanted something for the community to get their hands on. And if you guys can, head over to youtube.com/assemble show, because we're live right now and you can see the latest episodes we have. There's the series announcement, that trailer that I just put together. That's yesterday. And if you guys can, spread the word, spread the love, check out the rest of the show that we have, because we have our 2K22 5 match types that would hit different. One of them, Slobber Knocker. Bring it back. Let's go. Otherwise, 2KGMO gets teased on Twitter by those tweets, by the thinking emojis. Check all the content out. Spread the word. Support us. We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers. It is all fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here live on Assemble Show. We will have this all baked and canned and ready for you as we post it later this afternoon. So if you can't miss and make the whole thing, we talked to AEW today. It was so great having all of you here. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. And as always, thank you all for assembling with us. See ya.